The leader of the UK, Prime Minister Keir Starmer, made an important announcement on May 12, 2025. He talked about new government rules for people coming to live and work in the UK. This is called immigration. Starmer promised the government will take back control of the country's borders. He said that a time he called an open borders era must end. He also called the past years a failed experiment. Starmer explained why these big changes are happening now. He said that very large numbers of people have been coming to the UK recently. Under the last government, the number of people arriving legally was very high. It was more than 900,000 people each year. In the year 2023, the number was almost 1 million people. This is similar to the number of people living in a big city like Birmingham. Starmer stated that these high numbers created problems for the country. He suggested they were not good for how people live together peacefully in communities. He also said the numbers put pressure on people's quality of life. Starmer blamed the previous governments. He said they promised to lower immigration but instead allowed the numbers to increase a lot. Now Starmer's government has a detailed plan to change things. This plan is written down in a long government report. This report is called a white paper and it has 69 pages. The white paper explains the new rules. These rules will make it harder to get permission, called a visa, to come to the UK. The changes affect different types of visas: for work, for study, and for family members wanting to join relatives. The rules for getting permission to live in the UK permanently, called settlement, will also become stricter. There will also be new rules to encourage people arriving to become part of British life. Starmer promised these actions will make the number of people moving to the UK each year go down significantly. This number is often called net migration. He clearly stated, "This plan means migration will fall, that is a promise." He believes the changes are the right thing to do to fix the system. 2. Why new rules? Prime Minister Keir Starmer explained why the government made these big new immigration rules. He said the changes were the right and fair thing to do for the country. It was not just about politics. A very important reason for the new rules was to rebuild public trust. Mr. Starmer said that many people in the UK did not trust the old immigration system anymore. They felt it was broken and not working well. He wanted to fix this so people could believe in the system again. Mr. Starmer also talked about national identity. This means what it feels like to be British and the values people share. He worried that if too many people came to the UK very quickly, it could make it hard for people to live together well. He warned that without new rules, Britain could become an island of strangers. This is a place where people do not feel connected to each other. He said this would damage social cohesion, which is about people getting along in society. The Prime Minister argued that high numbers of new people put pressure on public services. This means services like schools and hospitals can get too full and busy. He said this could also make life harder for people already living in the UK, affecting their living standards. Mr. Starmer blamed previous governments for these problems. He said they promised to control immigration but let the numbers get too high. He mentioned that net migration, the number of people coming minus those leaving, went up 4 times. In 1 year, nearly 1 million people arrived. He called this a failed experiment and said it was like a whole big city arriving. The new rules also aim to protect British workers' jobs and their pay. Mr. Starmer said some businesses preferred to hire workers from other countries for less money. He believed this was not fair to British workers. It meant fewer jobs and lower wages for them. He said some companies were addicted to importing cheap labor instead of training young British people. The government wants to change this. Finally, Mr. Starmer described the old system as broken. He said his plan was to fix it. He used strong words like squalid chapter to show how bad he thought the situation was. His vision was to make the immigration rules fair and clear. He wanted to stop the country from becoming a place where people felt like strangers and ensure the system worked for everyone in Britain. 3. The new rules explained. The government's new plan for immigration has many changes. These changes are written in a detailed document. They will affect people who want to come to the UK to live, work, or study. The government believes these new rules are very important. One big change is about how long people must live in the UK before they can stay permanently. This is often called settlement. Before, it was usually 5 years. Now, for many people, it will be 10 years. This means it will take longer to make the UK their permanent home. However, there is a special, faster way for very skilled people like top doctors or scientists. There are also new rules for care workers from other countries. Care workers look after people who are old or unwell. From the year 2028, companies in the UK cannot hire new care workers from abroad. Care workers who are already here can ask to extend their stay. The government thinks this will reduce the number of care workers coming each year. People wanting to come to the UK for work or study will face stricter English language tests. Their adult family members, like a husband or wife, will also need to pass a basic English test. Businesses hiring skilled workers from other countries will pay more. This extra payment is the immigration skills charge. It will increase by about 32%, so it could be up to £6,600 for each worker. The government says this money will help train British workers. For international students, the time they can stay and work after their studies will be shorter. This post-study work visa will change from 2 years to 18 months. The government is also thinking about new fees for universities with many international students and checking that students complete their courses. Getting a skilled worker visa will also be harder. Applicants will need an offer for a high-skilled job. The job must usually pay at least £38,700 a year and be at a university degree level. But the plan includes faster visas for very skilled people like doctors, nurses, and scientists, so the UK can still attract needed talent. The rules for family visas are also being reviewed. These visas let people bring family members to the UK. The government might make these rules tougher. For example, they are looking at how much money someone needs to earn to bring their spouse, which is currently £29,000. Finally, there are new plans to limit asylum claims. Asylum is for people seeking protection. The government wants to make it harder to use Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights, which is about the right to family life, in these cases. The main aim of all these new rules is to reduce the number of people coming to the UK. The government estimates these changes could lower immigration by about 100,000 people each year by the year 2029. 4. What leaders think. The Labour Party is the government. Most people in this party support the new immigration rules. They think the plan is good, but some Labour politicians do not agree. A few female members of Parliament, MPs, said the Prime Minister used bad words about migrants. They worry this could make people feel negative. MP Nadia Whittome called it shameful and dangerous. MP Sarah Owen said the government should help British communities more. She felt the plan could harm the country. Zara Sultana, a former Labour MP, also strongly disagreed. The Liberal Democrats are another party. They mostly agree with trying to have fewer people come to the UK. They said the old system was broken. But they also warned the new rules might cause problems. Lisa Smart from the Liberal Democrats said the government must also train more British workers. She suggested better pay for care workers and more training jobs. The party leader, Sir Ed Davey, said Labour is not fixing the problem of not having enough workers like doctors. The Conservative Party is now the main opposition. They said the new plan is not strong enough. Kemi Badenoch, the Conservative leader, thinks the plan does not change enough. She wants a clear limit, or cap, on how many people can come. Without this cap, she feels promises are not real. Other Conservatives will ask for a law to set a migration cap. Some also said the Prime Minister copied their old ideas. They believe the government is only acting because of another party, Reform UK. Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, shared its opinion. Mr. Farage was glad the Prime Minister used similar ideas, but he said the plan was too small and many people would still arrive. Reform UK believes the government acted because their party is popular, not from true belief. The Green Party strongly disliked the plan. They called it panicked. They think the government wants to win voters who support Mr. Farage. The Green Party stated the plan will hurt communities and not end poverty. Leaders in the European Union, EU, are watching the UK's new rules. The UK is not in the EU, but they still discuss people moving between their countries. EU officials said new agreements, like for young people working in the UK and Europe, might change. They are also talking with the UK about stopping small boat crossings. For now, EU officials have not said much. They say the UK makes its own entry rules, but they will watch closely, especially plans for young workers. 5. Impact on work and services. The new immigration rules may change work and services in the UK. Many groups that run businesses are worried. They think it will be hard to find enough workers. They also think services for people might be affected by these new plans. The social care sector is very worried. This sector helps old people and people who are sick or disabled. Jess McGregor from ADASS said many of these people need care workers from other countries. Now, there is a plan to stop new foreign care workers from coming by the year 2028. The government thinks this rule will mean about 7,000 to 8,000 fewer care workers arriving each year. Unison, a big group for workers, said that care services already need many more workers. They said care services work only because of workers from other countries. If care homes cannot hire new foreign workers, some may not have enough staff. This could mean big problems for people who need care. Hotels, cafes, and pubs are also worried. This is the hospitality industry. Kate Nichols from UK Hospitality said that about 15 out of every 100 workers in this industry are from other countries. There are already many jobs, about 84,000, that they cannot fill. Businesses might have to pay more to hire workers because of new fees. It could also be harder to find people who want to do these jobs in the future. Leaders in the National Health Service, the NHS, are careful. The new rules do not stop foreign doctors and nurses from coming, but some people in the NHS still worry. Danny Mortimer from NHS Employers said that foreign doctors and nurses have always been very important for the NHS. He said that new English tests or higher costs might stop some good health workers from coming to the UK. Hospitals and doctors' offices already find it hard to get enough staff. Farms also need workers, especially to pick fruits and vegetables. Farmer groups have said for a long time that it is hard to find enough workers. If they cannot hire workers from other countries, it could be bad for the harvests. Some people worry that food might be left in the fields if there are not enough workers to pick it. Many businesses and worker groups say the government must do more. They want more money for training British people to do these jobs. They say there should be more chances for young people to learn new skills. Economists also give a warning. They say if there are not enough workers, it could be bad for the UK's money and growth. Prices for things might go up and businesses might not do as well as before. 6. Voices from the UK. Many different people in the UK are talking about the new immigration rules. They have many different feelings and opinions. Groups that work to help migrants are worried. They say the government is using strong and negative words. They believe these words can make life harder for migrants. They also think it can make some British people angry towards newcomers. One important group, Care for Calais, said the Prime Minister's words were dangerous. They fear it might encourage bad feelings against people who come to the UK for safety. Other charities have also spoken. They remind people that migrants are often neighbors, friends, and family members. They ask for migrants to be treated with respect. In towns across the country, local people also have varied views. In some places with many migrants, residents say they feel the pressure. They talk about long waits to see a doctor or difficulty finding school places for their children. They hope the new rules might help these problems. However, these same communities also worry about losing workers. For example, a charity worker in the town of Oldham said they already do not have enough nurses and carers. She asked how they would manage if fewer foreign workers could come. So, while some want fewer people, they also know their towns need workers for important jobs. People from ethnic minority backgrounds have also shared their concerns. Some community leaders feel that the government's new focus and language can make people from immigrant families feel unwelcome. This includes people born in Britain whose parents or grandparents came from other countries. They worry this kind of talk can divide communities and repeat problems from the past. However, not all migrants are against the changes. Some who came to the UK for skilled jobs think parts of the plan are fair. For example, an IT engineer from India said he understood why the government wants new people to learn English. But he also had a concern. He thought that making people wait 10 years to get permanent residency might stop talented people from choosing the UK. Public discussions are happening everywhere. People share their opinions online, on the radio, and in their local areas. Some citizens support the government's plan. They believe it will make the immigration system fairer and more controlled. Others strongly disagree. They feel the rules are too strict and could harm both migrants and the country. In areas with large immigrant populations, many families feel anxious. They wonder if their relatives will still be able to join them for work or study. To show support, some groups are planning events. They want to create a welcoming atmosphere for migrants. 7. Changes in politics and history. The Labour Party under Keir Starmer has changed its ideas about immigration a lot. In the past, Labour governments often saw immigration as good for the UK's economy. They believed it helped businesses and filled jobs. For example, Tony Blair's Labour government welcomed many workers from new European Union (EU) countries. But now, Mr. Starmer's government wants to be much stricter. They plan to reduce the number of people moving to the UK. This is a big difference from Labour's old way of thinking. Some people in the Labour Party are not happy with this new direction. The UK has a long history of immigration. After the Second World War, Britain invited workers from countries like India and the Caribbean to help rebuild. Later, when the UK joined the EU, people from EU countries could freely live and work here. This brought many European workers, especially after 2004. But in recent years, particularly after Brexit net migration, the number of people moving to the UK became very high. In the year to June 2023, it was around 906,000. This large number is a key reason for the new rules. These new immigration rules are very strict. Some say they are even tougher than rules made just after Brexit. After Brexit, the UK's system was quite open for skilled workers and students, which led to more people coming. The previous government started making some rules tighter. Now, Starmer's government is adding more controls and making things like getting permanent residency harder. These policies aim to cut immigration numbers by a lot. They are similar in some ways to ideas from other political parties. These changes could affect the UK's relationship with other countries, especially the EU. The UK and EU are talking about a youth mobility scheme. This would let young people from the UK work in the EU and young Europeans work in the UK. The new UK rules might make these talks harder. The UK's image in the world could also change. People from countries like India, who often come for work or study, will now wait 10 years for citizenship, not 5. This might make talented people choose other countries. If visa costs rise and rules are stricter, UK businesses and universities could find it harder to attract global talent. The government says it wants skilled workers, but some worry the UK will seem less open. 8. The future of UK immigration. The UK government, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has announced big new plans for immigration. The main idea is to lower the number of people coming to live and work in the UK. The government wants to take back control of the country's borders. They say it will make the rules for visas much stricter for work, family, study, or to live in the UK permanently. The Prime Minister promised that the number of people moving to the UK will go down a lot. He said the old system was not working well. These new rules could cause problems soon. Some businesses might not find enough workers. Care homes are very worried because they might not be able to hire new care workers from other countries after a few years. Hotels and restaurants also think it will be hard to get staff. The NHS, our health service, needs foreign doctors and nurses, so they are watching carefully. If businesses cannot find enough people, it could be bad for the UK's economy and prices might go up. In the long term, the government hopes these changes will help people trust the immigration system more. They want everyone in the UK to live together well. Mr. Starmer said he wants to stop Britain from becoming an island of strangers. The government believes fewer immigrants might mean public services like schools and hospitals will be less busy. They also hope it will help British workers. The main aim is a system people feel is fair. But there are risks. Some people think the government is using strong words that could cause division. Some politicians, even in Mr. Starmer's party, said the language was dangerous and could cause problems between groups. Migrant support groups also said the words were not fair and could make people from other countries feel unwelcome or afraid. These new rules will also affect how other countries see the UK. It might be harder for Britain to get talented workers. For example, people from India will now wait 10 years, not 5, for citizenship. This could mean skilled people choose other countries. If it becomes too hard or expensive to get a visa, the UK might miss out on talent. However, the government says it still wants highly skilled people like scientists and doctors. This announcement has changed how politicians talk about immigration. The Labour Party, led by Mr. Starmer, has changed its ideas a lot. Before, Labour often said immigration was good for the country. Now they talk more about control, listening to people worried about high numbers of immigrants. This is a big shift in UK politics. These changes mark a new time for Britain. This is a new direction for UK immigration. It will change who can come and how they stay. The government hopes it will make Britain better, but many questions remain. The future will show if these rules work as hoped. What do you think will be the biggest impact of these new immigration rules on life in the UK?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.